What's up guys, how my beautiful people doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Dan. My face looks a little bit darker than my body because I used the self-tanner on my face yesterday. Now I just applied some on my body, so these are gonna match tomorrow. For now, this is what I'm dealing with, this is what I'm working with. But today I realized it's been 3 years since I started using tretinoin, and I just wanted to quickly give you kind of an update where my skin is, what changes I've noticed. So yeah, I'm gonna get into that. Before I start, consider following me on Instagram, subscribe to this channel for more videos, ring that bell so you get notified every time I post something. Check out my Patreon in case you wanna help support the channel. Now, I've actually started using retinoids more than 7 years ago at this point. Time flies so fast. I started with retinol. I used that for a couple of years. I remember using the one from The Ordinary. Then I used adapalene for almost a year. And then I transitioned into tretinoin. Adapalene was great for acne, but tretinoin has much more research when it comes to anti-aging. And since I had access to it, I was like, why not give it a shot? Now, even though I am in this skincare space, I've done a lot of mistakes when it comes to using tretinoin. I'm gonna talk about those a little bit later in the video when I give you my tips and tricks. Now, the first and probably the biggest achievement from tretinoin is my acne reduction. My acne is almost gone, I would say. It's been a long journey. I started getting acne when I was 12, but I have it pretty much in control now. I would still get a couple of pimples per month, but it's nowhere near where it was. And I still have good and bad days, of course. I still have, let's just say, good and bad periods of time. Sometimes it kind of gets a little bit out of control. And I always have this fear in the back of my mind that when I start getting some breakouts, I have this fear that my acne is coming back and I'm gonna get this full face of pimples. I don't think that's ever gonna go away. Maybe it will, hopefully. It's just, it is what it is. But even when I'm getting some breakouts here and there, they are much smaller than in the past and they are going away much faster. I think that's the second point I want to make about tretinoin is that because of its speed up cell turnover capabilities, it makes your breakouts go away faster than without it. The post-inflammatory erythema is not that present. It goes away faster than normal. So yeah, that's another thing about tretinoin. Even though you might still experience some acne breakouts here and there, they are gonna go away faster. And the third point I wanna make, the anti-aging. Tretinoin was, is, and probably still gonna be for a pretty long time the gold standard when it comes to anti-aging, when it comes to skincare, anti-aging ingredients, let's just say topical ingredients. I don't really have any wrinkles, I'm pushing 30. I would say after 3 years, you would expect most people's skin to get just a tiny bit worse, just a tiny bit, just like some fine lines here and there. My skin got better. I watched some videos from 3 years ago. I noticed I had some expression lines on my forehead. They were not anything huge, but they're not really there anymore. I noticed that in my day-to-day life also, and I never had any Botox, even though I'm considering that for the future. So not only my skin didn't get any new wrinkles and fine lines, the ones that I had in the past, they are almost gone. Now, I did do 10 sessions of dermastamping last year for my acne scars. And dermastamping is known for boosting collagen production, for helping with wrinkles and fine lines. So that might be a pretty big helper when it comes to my forehead wrinkles. But the wrinkles around my eyes also got a little bit better. I used to have wrinkles around my eyes even when I was 18 because of so much smiling. And when I smile, I get these very deep lines. And I think they are better. Well, they're not worse, definitely. I haven't done any dermastamping around my eyes because you're not supposed to do that. It's an area where you don't put needles. And that's for sure the tretinoin, because I didn't stop smiling. Oh, by the way, the smile lines they also got better. It's probably a combination of dermastamping and tretinoin. I just noticed I still have my frown lines. Those are not going away with anything because I'm doing a lot of frowning. So that's pretty much it, I would say. The tretinoin didn't really help with any dark spots. We have some data proving that tretinoin helps with hyperpigmentation. I would say probably helps with that to a certain extent, but these dark spots that I have here, they are going away only with hydroquinone. I can kind of keep them in a good state with topicals, with azelaic acid, with tretinoin and a lot of stuff, but they are completely going away only with hydroquinone, which I am gonna use soon. I'm gonna get into tips. As someone who's used tretinoin for 3 years, more than 3 years at this point, start slow, be patient, start very slow. I tried for more than 1 year to use tretinoin 0.1%, which is the strongest, just because that was the only option that was fungal acne safe. I could never make it work. My skin was always on the edge, always just a tiny bit more, it would be too irritated, I would get a lot of acne again. But I was also using the gel, which is probably the strongest tretinoin you can get. That was the only fungal acne safe option, so I tried to make it work. I couldn't make it work more than even twice a week was pushing it, and more irritation leads to more acne, so you have to keep this very fine balance. It took me 3 years to actually finally solve this puzzle. Definitely my biggest tip of advice would be to start with the lowest concentration possible, and if you want, you can increase your way up. It's not really necessary. We have data showing that 0.025% tretinoin, it is, after a certain amount of time, as effective as 0.1. 0.1 usually goes faster up, but then it plateaus, and after some certain amount of time, they kind of meet the same point. So it's not really necessary. Of course, in the future, as I get older, I might increase it, but for now, I am using the 0.002 actually. It is this product. I use it 2-3 times a week. I still don't use it every night. Maybe I will increase my way up in the future. For now, I'm happy with 2-3 times a week. My skin is not overly irritated. It took me a long time to learn that lesson. My skin's probably in the best shape ever just because I started using a lower concentration of tretinoin, and also I don't really aspire to use it every day. For now, I'm using it 2-3 times a week. It works great. Of course, if you don't have sensitive skin, if your skin can tolerate it, use it every night. That would be probably the best case scenario. But for me, at this point in my life, I cannot really use it every night. Now, this specific product is actually sold over the counter where I am and in many European countries because the concentration is lower than 0.025. It's a tiny bit smaller than the 0.025. They also proved that because of this polyvinyl alcohol, the tretinoin is not really getting absorbed into your body that much, so that's why they can sell this over the counter. You don't need a prescription where you would normally need one for any other tretinoin. Now, this specific product has clindamycin, but they do have a version without clindamycin, and I would advise buying that, not the one with clindamycin. Because that's an antibiotic that's good for acne, but you cannot use it long term. Otherwise, you might develop antibiotic resistance, and nobody wants that. Now, this also has 4% glycolic acid, and it's not gonna exfoliate your skin. That's not really a high enough amount to actually exfoliate your skin. And also, I'm pretty sure the pH of this product is not low enough for the glycolic acid to be active and to exfoliate your skin. But just wanted to mention that. I still use this one as my last step after applying a moisturizer to decrease any potential of irritation. It works best for me that way. You can apply it before moisturizer. You have to experience with it and find the sweet spot. Maybe in the future I will try to use it before my moisturizer, but for now it works great like that for me. And I think Dr. Dre talking about in the video that they proved in a study there's not a big difference if you apply it before moisturizer or after. It's still effective for the tretinoin. Another piece of advice would be to not use tretinoin with any active ingredient in the same routine. No ascorbic acid, salicylic acid, exfoliants. Definitely not with benzoyl peroxide. They don't go well together. They cancel each other out. Just try to not use anything irritating. Just try to not use anything irritating in your skincare routine, because this is irritating enough for your skin. Final piece of advice would be to not use only tretinoin for your acne. I mean, you can try, see how it works, but for me, I have to combine it with azelaic acid, with sodium orsobutyl phosphate, salicylic acid here and there. Otherwise, I still don't get the like clearest skin. I would still get some breakouts here and there. You have to combine it with other anti-acne ingredients, just because acne is such a multifactorial problem that it needs to be targeted via different pathways. So I would still advise to use especially gentle actives, anti-acne actives. Like azelaic acid is gentle, you can combine it with many other things. Sodium sorbate phosphate, which is a vitamin C derivative, has great data when it comes to eliminating acne. Salicylic acid, mostly I use it for my blackheads and for more decongesting, while tretinoin, of course, speeds up cell turnover. It's still not an exfoliant, not an actual exfoliant, let's just say that. It does exfoliate your skin to a certain extent, but if you have oily skin, for me, very prone to congestion, this is not enough. I still need to use salicylic acid here and there. But if you have dry skin, you don't really have any blackheads, you don't need to use that. I mean, you have to experiment with it. You have to find what works for your skin. We are all like unique. We have very unique genetics. We're all different. What works for me might not work for you, and vice versa. We just all need to find our own skincare routine that works for us the best. These are just like general tips and advice to consider, but they're not like these rules that you cannot break. And I think that's it. I might have forgotten something. Of course, you guys leave some questions in the comments below, because this was just like a random video. I just put the camera and I started rambling. But yeah, let me know, leave some questions if you have like a very specific question you want to ask, leave it in the comments below. Share your experience with tretinoin if you are on it. Adapalene, retinoids, generally speaking. I am using retinol here and there. Sometimes I might alternate tretinoin or retinol. I'm experimenting, but this is a video about tretinoin, so I wanted to talk about that strictly. Yeah, that's it, guys. Love you all. See you on my next video. Bye.